Good morning from Sapporo. I have an exciting day planned. For lunch, I'm going to be checking out this restaurant that specializes in giant live king crabs, which looks incredible. They look so big, and I love crab. Dinner is also really exciting because I have a lamb barbecue place planned out, which is a popular specialty in Hokkaido. But before all that, I'm going to be checking out the hotel breakfast, and I'm looking forward to it because the reviews for this place were really positive and people raved about the breakfast. So let's go. I just got my food at breakfast and the spread looks incredible. The reviews weren't lying when they said the breakfast is out of this world here because there's so many different Japanese breakfast items, so I got everything I could find. As with most meals, let's start off with miso soup. Always a great way to start off the meal just to warm you up a bit. Now for a bit of greens. The greens are nice, they're really fresh and juicy, a little bit of soy sauce and maybe some sort of fish stock in there as well. And I like it served with cognac jelly, which adds a bit of chewiness to it. Next are Hokkaido sweet potatoes, which look really good, and I found them at the salad bar. Okay, the sweet potato is just alright, and that's probably because it's for the salad bar, just because it's a little bit on the dry side. But let's wash that down with a beverage I'm really looking forward to, fresh Hokkaido milk. And you already know how much I love my dairy, especially when it's fresh from Hokkaido, and a lot of reviews for the hotel raved about their milk, specifically breakfast being one of the highlights. That is so smooth and rich and buttery. I'm usually not much of a milk drinker, but this has gotta be the best milk I've ever had. It's almost like drinking pure cream because it's so rich. So you definitely don't want to drink too much of this because it is a lot. It is so heavy, but you have to try it. Just get yourself a small glass. It's the perfect complement to your breakfast. Now for a bit of lotus root. That was pickled lotus root. Very nice and crispy and fresh. A little bit of a sour pickle flavor, as well as a bit of kick from the black pepper that's on there. That really brightens up the pickles. Now for tamago, or some more of that fluffy egg omelette. Oh, they definitely made that traditional. The way they do it is they make it with a little bit of salt as well as some sugar, which gives it a really nice sweetened flavor. And I think they do that because it complements the fluffy texture of the egg so nicely. Another one of my favorite items to get with Japanese breakfast is grilled fish. I think it's just because the seafood here is so much fresher, but the grilled fish in Japan I've tasted so far has been incredible. That is grilled mackerel, and that is fantastic. I don't know how they grill it here, because it almost tastes steamed and grilled. It's got that really nice flavor from the grill, but it is oh so juicy. It's just oozing with juice. Some sort of stewed beef. Just wonderfully stewed cuts of beef, perfectly tender, and some sort of sweet soy and ginger sauce. Really refreshing and meaty, tasty. Now for a little bit of tofu, and I saw a sign that had a medal on it, so it looks like it won some sort of award. Wow, I believe this is homemade tofu, and you can taste it. It's almost like the texture of silken tofu, maybe even softer. It's so buttery soft, smooth, and delicate. And I just added a little bit of green onion and ginger. I think you're supposed to add soy sauce, but I honestly like it without, because it doesn't need the salt. It's just so mild and gentle on the tongue. I also got some salt-fried noodles, and it looks like stir-fried ramen noodles. That just tastes like stir-fried ramen noodles, and what's not to love about that? Last savory dish, I got a bit of salted cod roe, and I'm going to eat this with a little bit of rice. Let's give this a taste. The roe looks beautiful and pink and very vibrant. You get a really nice bit of brininess, but it's nothing too overwhelming. A great pairing with the rice. Next dish I have is a sweet dish. This is some blueberry yogurt. I'm pretty sure this is Hokkaido yogurt, and I think it's gonna taste really creamy. Wow, that is so thin. It's almost like a liquid. It's just like this rich, creamy, thin yogurt, and it's really nice with the blueberry jam on top. Just get this really nice fruitiness to it. A bit fragrant and sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's definitely on the tart side. Next one is milk pudding with strawberry sauce, and this just looks like milk jello. Oh man, that one is incredible. Tastes like that milk pudding is made with that same rich Hokkaido milk. And I love the strawberry sauce. So sweet and tasty. It's almost like a syrup. Last one, mango pudding. Again, so smooth and creamy, and I love the fresh, rich mango flavor. Absolutely fantastic. I love this breakfast. It was so cheap because I got it included with the room, and the quality of it is fantastic. I love the variety of items. You get all sorts of authentic Japanese items like that pickled lotus root, grilled fish, miso soup. Then you can get other delicious regional specialties like that Hokkaido milk and that milk pudding, which was so tasty. Again, while the room is just alright, it's just enough. It's clean, it's small, but it's definitely sufficient. I think this breakfast really knocks it out of the park and makes this place a great value hotel. I know I just finished up breakfast, but it's time to head over to lunch already since I woke up late today, and lunch is already gonna be incredible. I already know it. So let's head over there now. It's gonna be a 40-minute journey. I just selected my king crab out of the tank, and now I'm just waiting for it to be grilled, and I cannot wait. It looks incredible. I've already seen multiple people order it. The crab hasn't come out quite yet, but they brought out this fried rice. I decided to order their crab fried rice, and this looks incredible. That fried rice tastes great. I love the texture of the rice. Perfectly cooked and seasoned. I love the salty flavor of it, the freshness you get from the green onion, and I love the egg in there as well, but the crab is so tasty. It's really nice and sweet. However, I have a feeling I'm going to be able to taste the crab a lot more when I eat the full king crab. They just brought out this king crab, and it looks insane. It's so much bigger than I could have even imagined, and it's broken up into sections. They have legs as well as some pieces of the body. The way you're going to want to eat this king crab is they give you scissors, and you can use this to cut through the shell, just like so. And you're just going to want to crack it all the way up. Look at this beautiful, juicy crab meat inside. It just looks so tantalizing. My first bite of Hokkaido king crab. I am so looking forward to this. No way, there's nothing like this. That is the single-handed best bite of crab I've ever eaten in my entire life. It is just so sweet. It's like the candy of the ocean. The crab is just so juicy and tender, and it's really fresh. There's nowhere else in the world that you can get this. Hokkaido king crab is just so unique. Dude, it's large size, and there's just really nothing like it, because you could try it frozen in the US, but it's just not the same. I mean, having it live, fresh out of the tank, what more could you want? Now let's go for a bit of the body section. Let's see if this tastes any different. This one is a bit different. It's even sweeter and more tender. However, it does have a little bit less of a briny grilled flavor. Now for the leg, and this looks incredible. I can't wait to try the leg out. Let's go for a taste of this leg now. That is easily the tastiest part of the crab. It's got the perfect balance of a salty, briny flavor to the natural sweetness of the crab. In this part, you really taste that grilled charcoal flavor from the grill. It tastes nice and charred and adds so much to the flavor of this already naturally sweet crab. And I love this not seasoned because it already gets the natural saltiness of the sea. There's no need for anything on this. Just to eat a plain grilled like this is just pure seafood heaven. I just finished up my meal here at Marsante, and seriously, that was the best crab I've ever had, no exaggeration, and the price was amazing. It was only $47 for that gigantic crab. In the Bay Area, I know the price would be in the hundreds because it was so big, so I really feel like you're getting a lot for your money. Just for comparison, a couple of months ago I was in Santa Monica, California, obviously really expensive as it's right next to LA, and I paid around $60 for a whole Dungeness crab, which is probably like a quarter the size of this king crab, just to give you some perspective on price. The owner of the restaurant was also my server, and she was really nice, so I gave her my business card, and she gave me her business card in return. Anyways, our next stop is going to be Sapporo Station, since I need to make some train reservations on the JR train. I just made the walk over here to Soen Station. It was about a 12-minute walk from the restaurant, and I'm really happy because I was able to make all of my JR ticket reservations here, since it's a really quiet station and no one was there, so that was super efficient. And now we're going to be heading to Odori Station to check out the surrounding area, and I definitely want to check out Mitsukoshi, which is a Japanese department store that's right there, so let's do that. Here we are, Sapporo Mitsukoshi. Let's take a look inside. The cool thing about Japanese department stores is they're so much different than American department stores. They have multiple floors for shopping, however the bottom two floors are easily reserved for only food, and it is a foodie paradise, so it's my favorite area to go to. They have a whole raw meat section, and they even sell large cuts of Wagyu beef. They even had a seafood section which included fish eggs. I also couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that they had sea urchin. The part I found the most shocking is they had pickled fish sitting out in the open, and I don't know where else in the world you can find that at a department store. They also had an entire floor dedicated to sweets. This case had fancy desserts, and these were about half the price of what I could find in California. I mean seriously, it seemed like there was an endless amount of little cakes. They also had huge cases of different fruit jellies that were packaged, and they all looked so very colorful and vibrant. My favorite section was the luxury fruit area, and simply put, it was insane. They had all sorts of different fruits wrapped up in shiny plastic and under a spotlight, just like jewelry. This was a $40 mango. One of the cheapest items was a pack of 10 strawberries for $10. They even had a $62 pink pineapple. They also had a $54 Yubari melon. The most expensive fruit I could find is a $110 melon, and I really want to know who is buying those. I eventually got this bunch of 30 grapes for $30 because I don't know when I would ever try it again. I just finished up my time here at Mitsukoshi, and I couldn't help myself, but I had to try out those $30 grapes because I've heard they're like the Wagyu of fruit. They're like the best quality, tastiest fruit you'll ever try. But now it's off to dinner at that salt-cured Gengis Khan lamb place that I'm really looking forward to. So let's go. Here we are. Our restaurant should be on the 10th floor. I just placed my order. I got their thick-cut salt-cured lamb, which is their most popular item, and I also ordered lamb tongue, which I'm curious about because I love beef tongue, so I think lamb tongue is going to be pretty similar. They just brought out some veggies, and right here they're going to be cooking with a little bit of Wagyu fat, so I think that's going to make them taste even better. Before grilling our lamb, I made sure to coat the grill really nicely in all the Wagyu fat. The sizzle as the lamb hit the grill, which is oh so satisfying. The lamb is almost done cooking. The first side got a really nice char to it, and I just flipped it, and I think it should be done pretty soon. I just gotta make sure it's cooked, but not overcooked, but they said the meat can get quite tough if you overcook it. I just took off our first set of lamb off the grill, and that looks perfectly grilled on the outside. I believe it's cooked through, although it is a pretty thick cut. I think I might have cooked it about medium well or so, let's give this a taste. Wow, that is so delicious. It's one pure, juicy bite of meat. It is so juicy, which I'm really impressed with. I think the hot grill really locks in all the juices, and it's so flavorful. I love how it's not overly gamey. It's not any more gamey than a steak, which I think is pretty impressive, because that tells you how tasty it is, because all the salt curing, I think, takes out that gamey flavor. Now let's see how this meat tastes dipped in our sauce. I believe this is some sort of soy sauce on the side. That is a great addition. Although the meat is salt cured, the meat itself isn't that salty, so a little bit of soy sauce goes a long way to flavor it, which really helps. I just finished up the thick cut lamb, and that was delicious. Definitely the tastiest lamb I've ever had. I think that's just the story of this trip. Each food I try keeps getting better and better compared to what I'm used to, but now for lamb tongue, which is a food I've never tried, and it's really thin, so this will cook instantly. Alright, this should be perfectly cooked, and it still did get a bit of char, even though it wasn't on a grill too long. Wow, that is a fantastic cut of meat. Even though it wasn't cooked for very long, it's still got a nice brownness on the outside, and it's so juicy and tender. Really, really juicy, which is impressive, because usually lamb tongue is a bit of a leaner cut of lamb, but it still tastes like there's a bit of fat rippled in there, so it is so tasty. Definitely, that's a great item to try. And I also love that the portion's really small, so you could definitely order this on top of the thick cut lamb. Also, make sure to save some of your rice for chazuke, and they'll take some of your rice into the back and flavor it using tea and herbs, and then they'll bring it back out and you can top it with sauce, and it's really tasty. I just finished up another great meal in Sapporo. You definitely gotta check that place out, even if you don't like lamb. Both of my parents aren't super big lamb people, but they actually really enjoyed it because the lamb here tastes so much different than what you're used to, because there's absolutely no gamey flavor. So definitely check that place out. Now I'm gonna be heading somewhere for ice cream. I made it here to Queen's Soft Cream Cafe, which is a place that was on my list, and apparently it's really good because, again, they use farm fresh milk, so I got their vanilla soft serve, which I'm assuming is their milk flavor. Wow, that is incredible. Just as I expected, smooth, rich, creamy, and it definitely tastes like they're using Hokkaido milk. After trying just plain Hokkaido milk for breakfast, I definitely have an idea of what good milk tastes like, and this tastes like that. It just has this unique, rich, buttery flavor that you won't get from ice cream anywhere else. Definitely a great place to check out. Queen's Soft Serve is on the 10th floor of the Resta building here in Sapporo, and it's pretty close by Sapporo Station, so definitely be sure to check it out. I just made it back to the hotel, and I couldn't wait. I had to find out what these $30 grapes are about. I looked up the translation on Google Translate, and it says they are fresh Muscat grapes, and I know Muscat grapes are a specialty in Hokkaido, but they're definitely not cheap, so I think these are a pretty solid choice. Their price was about 4,800 yen, so I think that's pretty crazy in terms of the price, but let's hope it's worth it. That is definitely the best green grape I've ever had. The second you bite into it, you get this really nice, delicate fragrance, almost like it's fancy, like it just tastes fancy, and it's really sweet, but then also when you chew the skin, there's no bitterness. Like the skin itself tastes sweet, which I think is pretty impressive, and I love the natural shine of these grapes as well. They are so tasty. But are they worth $30? I think that's a little bit debatable, just because that's so much money, but it's definitely something to try at least once if you're in Hokkaido and you see these. What I'm also really impressed about is the quality of these grapes. They're all shiny and perfect looking. They're all about the same size, and I don't see a single mark on it. However, there was one bad grape because it was very mushy and had a bit of a hole in it, so I'm kind of disappointed by that, so I might have lost an entire $1 on that one grape. But other than that, they're literally almost perfect. It almost looks like they came out of a factory in a sense, which I think is kind of scary. What another amazing day in Japan. I just love this country so much. From breakfast this morning at the hotel, which shocked me because staying at a hotel for just over $100 a night, you would get nothing close to that in the US. Like, I just don't know where else in the world you can get such a nice breakfast at such a cheap hotel. Lunch was also crazy too. The best crab I've ever had. No doubt about that. Just for the price you get and the amount you get and the freshness of the crab. Like, this is something you can't experience anywhere else but in Hokkaido. And then dinner, again, another best item I've ever had. Best lamb I've ever had because it was just so fresh and juicy and pretty much no gamey flavor. And then, just now, I finished up all those grapes. Those were the best grapes I've ever had. Would I pay $30 again? Maybe not, but it was still a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Tomorrow I'm going to be heading to the town of Furano, which is famous for their flower fields. I'm going to be going to Farm Tomita, which has a whole bunch of different flowers, including lavender, so I've heard it's very picturesque. Anyways, I really hope you all enjoyed today's video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one when we head to Furano.